Classic designs, bright colors, timeless pieces. Couple that with the names of Michelle Obama, Vice President Kamala Harris, and Beyonce, and the next name you're likely to hear will be that of designer Sergio Hudson. The Fairfield County native has made a name for himself on runways, at award shows, and in boardrooms. Today, we're taking a seat at his design table. So here we go. Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Beyonce, Issa Rae, Jennifer Lopez, Serena Williams, Toni Braxton, Stephanie Mills, Kerry Washington, Blake Lively, Iman, Wanda Sykes, Nia Long, Lupita Nyong'o, Mary J. Blige, Queen Latifah, Tracy Ellis Ross.
Oh. I've never heard somebody do that. Wow.
Was there a moment, Sergio, that you said to yourself, I think I might have made it?
I will say this. I still have not had that moment where I'm like, I know I made it. But one of those moments were when I dressed Mrs. Obama for inauguration. Not actually when I dressed her because I was just working and doing it, but I think I told the story to you before. I got off of the plane, leaving DC, going to Atlanta. We stopped over in Philly, and that's when the inauguration was happening. I went into that lounge. I saw her walk out through those doors like everybody else did at the exact same time. And I was like, wow, she looks really good. And I forgot that I had made what she was wearing. And at that moment, I knew it was different. I knew it was a change. I knew, okay, now I can really begin. So I feel like that was my start. Like I was at the airport the other day and I saw this woman walk by me in a full Sergio Hudson outfit. And to me, that was the most rewarding thing I ever saw in my life, because it was just like, wow, like people are really connected to this. Like, and you know, my clothes aren't cheap. So I was just like, she actually spent the amount of that money on that suit to wear it. And she was, you know, obviously going to some business meeting or something and she had to look a certain way. She got right off the plane. I knew what she was doing. I saw her and she was leaving the airport to go to a meeting. I knew it. And I was like, wow, that's what I intended that for. You know, you dream about these type of things, but when they actually happen, it doesn't feel exactly how you think it's going to feel. So, you know, sometimes I forget, honestly, and then you get reminded, you know, you get a text from somebody, I love the vice president in your dress, or, oh my God, Beyonce looks so good. And you're like, oh yeah, I did dress Beyonce.
When you say Sergio Hudson fashion, you immediately think of the best and the brightest. And I mean the best fabrics, the brightest colors. But a lot of people who are watching may not know that you're just a young man from Ridgeway, South Carolina, from Fairfield County.
Absolutely.
And you're true to that every day.
Every day.
What does it mean to be from Fairfield County and be on this level?
I mean, it shaped who I am as a person. I'm a very country boy, but a very cultured boy at the same time. So it's kind of like I always had the best of both worlds.
What keeps you humble?
My bills.
It keeps us all humble. When you think about the challenges that you've seen, what were those times like?
You know, I don't focus on those so much, because it was always a process that I knew I had to go through to get to where I was trying to go. When you think about the times when you either buy a yard of fabric or you eat out, you know what I mean? It's like it was literally those times that sometimes, so those build you and make you who you are. I knew I was destined to do this probably at about 5 or 6, because that's when I started picking out like my mom and my sister's clothes and telling them, you know, wear this with this. And it would be like, oh wow, like they actually would listen to me and they would get compliments. And that's how I knew, you know, from that young age, okay, this is a talent, this is something I need to pursue. And my parents kind of cultivated that.
Are you usually the only black man in the room?
When it comes to other designers, yeah, it's normally me. My team is pretty much 90% black. So I have, you know, my business partner is black. My whole PR team is black. You know, so all of my designers that work with me are black. I have to open doors for people that look like me. And I have to make it normal for a black person to design clothes for the first lady, for the vice president, for Beyonce. Like, these things have to become common in order for them not to be singled out, because at the end of the day, I don't want to just be a black designer. I just want to be a designer. All I need is a sewing machine and a table, and I can still have a collection. I think I was in the last crew of people that went to design school that actually had to learn the process of making a pattern, making a dress without a computer. When we were presented with the option to do the Target collection, I took it as an opportunity to give something back to those people who have always supported me. You don't just arrive here alone without no support. So, my community, my family, all of those people that growing up that always told me, oh, you're gonna be great one day, you're gonna do this and do that. Create your own seat, create your own room, create a place for you to be, because it might not be there for you.
That is amazing, an amazing story. And Darcy, you have had the opportunity to interview him multiple times over the years. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've known Sergio for at least a decade, and he has not changed. Nothing has changed who he is to the core. Anybody from Fairfield County who knows Sergio knows that he is just the same person every single time you talk to him. I remember on Inauguration Day, in the first, the former First Lady, Mrs. Obama, comes down the steps and everybody's going crazy over it. And so I called him and I'm thinking, there's no way he's going to answer the phone. He's like, hey, Darcy, Sergio, you got a minute to talk to me about dressing the First Lady? It's like, oh yeah, I got time. So he is just so humble. He's so talented. And one of the things that I could have talked to him for an hour. One of the things that he really wanted to stress to other young men, especially men of color who have a passion for the arts, don't let anything deter you. Yes. Believe in yourself if no one else believes in you, because that was put in you for a reason. Because like he said, at 5 years old, he was dressing his mama and his sister and getting compliments.
Absolutely. And that's a message that can go across industries.
Absolutely.